They don't build these mics for guys like that. They really don't. No, I'll just raise my voice. It's all right. I think everybody can hear me. Yes? Everybody can hear me in the back. All right, that's fine. I actually don't need a mic. I used to work in the newsroom, believe me, BFCL all the time. And in fact, I'm fairly new to this kind of writing, but Mary Beth did ask me to speak tonight. And, you know, she's such an asset to our community. And she gives so much help to everybody else, including me. And when Mary Beth asks you for something, they really are the only responses. What do you need? So I wrote this story about learning a new language. It's entitled Gringo. And if you can't guess what language that is, don't worry about the first sentence. When my wife and I arrived in Chile in 1993, I didn't speak a word of Spanish. My wife had a diabolically clever way of forcing me to learn. She would shove me out the door with a list of errands and a pocket dictionary and tell me not to come back until I was done. The typical lesson went like this: buy cheese. I would look up the right words in the dictionary, memorize them, go in the deli, and in my terrible New Jersey accent I would say, un medio kilo de queso, por favor. And the counterman would say, "¿Qué tipo?" And I would smile and back away. Look up a good response in the dictionary and go back in. Every lesson was several rounds like this. More embarrassing, though, were the many times I would start to speak in Spanish, and the Chilean would smile, smirk a little bit, and say, "Ah, gringo." And either talk to me in English, or talk to me like I was a little child. It was frustrating. Every day was, "Ah, gringo." My Chilean friends insisted gringo was not an insult, but it wasn't a compliment. I persevered. Over the months, I improved until I could chat in Spanish at a party for 2 or 3 hours and conduct a basic business conversation on the telephone. But always with someone new. Ah, gringo. One afternoon, about 3 years after I arrived, I sat on a park bench talking with a Chilean friend. A businessman was sitting on a nearby bench and kept looking over at us. Finally, he came over and looked at me and asked, "Usted de Alemán?" And I thought, why is this guy asking me if I'm from Germany? Then it hit me. My Spanish had improved enough he couldn't place my accent. I stood up. Proudly, in my proudest voice, I said, "No de Alemán, Gringo!"